Constitutions rarely attract public attention until someone proposes to change them. And that is exactly why Zimbabwe's constitution is back at the center of public attention. Recent discussions about presidential tenure and parliamentary terms have raised an important legal question. What can actually be changed, and what limits does the Constitution place on that change? And to answer that, we have to go back to the text itself. Zimbabwe's constitution, adopted in 2013, sets out the rules for presidential office. Under Section 91 of the Constitution, a person may hold office as president for no more than 2 terms. The length of each term is set out in Section 158, which establishes the 5-year electoral cycle for national elections. So, in practical terms, this means the president is elected directly by citizens through national elections and serves a 5-year term with the possibility of serving a second term if re-elected. These provisions were introduced as part of broader constitutional reforms designed to define how executive power operates within a democratic system. Recently, however, discussions have emerged in public debate about possible constitutional amendments affecting these rules. Among the ideas that have been discussed is the possibility of extending the presidential terms from 5 years to 7 years. There have also been conversations about whether the terms of the members of parliament could similarly be extended, which would affect the frequency of national elections. So, at first glance, constitutional amendments may seem straightforward. Constitutions can be amended after all. However, the Constitution itself contains safeguards that regulate how certain amendments operate. One of the most important provisions in this discussion is Section 328 of the Constitution. This section governs the amendment process and includes specific rules about amendments that affect public offices. In particular, Section 328, Part 7 states that an amendment which extends the length of a public office does not apply to the person holding that office at the time that the amendment is made. In simple terms, even if the Constitution were amended to change the length of presidential or parliamentary terms, the question of who benefits from that change becomes a legal matter governed by the Constitution itself. This is why the current discussions focus not only on whether amendments are possible, but also on how the Constitution regulates their effect. Constitutions organize political power, but they also contain safeguards intended to prevent the power from being altered too easily. Understanding these safeguards helps clarify what is legally possible and what remains subject to constitutional limits. Constitutional debates often generate strong opinions, but the starting point is always the same: the text itself. That is law, and that is life. This is Law and Life with Kudah.